This time we are joined by Wichita State head coach Gregg Marshall. Good morning, Coach.
Yeah, hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine.
Good. Well, let's talk about your team and give us a little preview of what you have coming back, the newcomers that are going to make an impact, and then we'll open it up for some questions from the media.
We've got 3 returning seniors in Ahime Arupke, who hasn't played very much, Carl Hall, who was all newcomer team last year, and Demetric Williams, who's been recovering from ankle surgery in August, so he's been limited at best in our practices thus far. They're joined by a transfer senior, Malcolm Armstead, a point guard who transferred in from Oregon after playing quite a bit there for 2 years. And with Demetric being out, he's been our point guard thus far in practice. And we've got a couple sophomores that played some last year, Jaquel Cotton, Jake White, and Evan Wessel. Other than that, everyone's new. Ron Baker redshirted last year. He's playing pretty well in practice. We've got a JUCO transfer, Clee Anthony Early, who's going to play a lot early as an impact guy, I hope. And Fred Van Vliet suffered a sprained ankle. He's another freshman that's been out for a couple of weeks with a sprained ankle. And Darrell Green is a promising freshman who shot it in a couple of days in a row here lately in practice. So Nick Wiggins is a junior college guy that's trying to pick up our system. And C.J. Shadrach LaFille, has been bothered by he was playing pretty well early, but he's been bothered by a dislocated shoulder, so he's been limited lately. So that's kind of what we've got.
Thank you, Greg. Let's go ahead and open it up for some questions for Coach Gregg Marshall.
To ask a question, please press star, then the number 1. There is a question from Lyndall Scranton of the Springfield News-Ledger.
Coach, what's the biggest challenge as you try to mold so many new guys into that cohesive unit?
Lyndall, I think the biggest challenge is just getting them to all understand, first of all, how hard you have to play and the mental and physical toughness is required to play basketball at this level, and then mold them into a cohesive unit that's trying to get other people's shots, working the ball, helping each other on defense. There's a lot of trust that goes along with it, and they've got to be able to trust their teammates. And when they're called upon to be trusted, they need to be there. So it's there's a lot of teaching for all these new guys.
How much do you enjoy this type of situation, though, as a coach?
It's what you signed up for. It's challenging. It's very, very challenging at times, but it's also rewarding when you walk out and you think, God, so-and-so got it today. So-and-so really showed some glimpses of learning what we're trying to get him to do, which is going to ultimately make he and us successful. So it's some days you walk out and go, oh my gosh, I don't know if we'll win a game. But then there's other days where you feel like you're getting through and accomplishing something and forming a team. But it's fun. It is fun. And again, like I said, it's what you signed up for. It's one of the cooler things about being a college basketball or any coach is taking your individual ingredients and making a cohesive unit that can win basketball games or whatever competition you're involved in. So, I mean, there's a lot, when people play fantasy, that's what they do. They pick teams that they think can win, but they don't have to do any X's and O's, but that's part of the fun of having our job.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And your next question comes from John Akers with the Basketball Time.
Hey, Greg, how you doing?
John, I'm fine. You?
I'm doing great. Hey, I'm working on a story on Doug McDermott, and you guys have had probably as much success defending him as anyone. I was wondering if you could kind of explain why. And I know you put an emphasis on defense, but is it more than that?
Well, we put an emphasis on defense, and we also put an emphasis on very good players, and he's certainly a very good player. He can score inside and out, and we try to limit his touches. We try to always be there to contest. Don't give him anything easy. He probably gets 2 or 3 baskets a game just by simply beating other people down the floor. He does a great job of getting out in transition. And we try to limit those opportunities and make him really work for. It's cliche, but make him work for everything. And then on the other end, try to make him guard a little bit.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
And the next question is from Steve Pipafar with the Omaha World Herald.
Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Steve.
Hey, can you talk about how Carl and Dimitri, how their roles going to change this year, given that they're the 2 most experienced guys you got back, and just what you expect out of that experience?
Well, Carl has been out there every day in practice, and he's gotten better offensively, and he's really trying to be a leader and try to get the other guys to be in the right place at the right time. So that's going to be an adjustment for him. Dimitri has not been out there that much, but and it's hard to be a leader from the sidelines. So he was out there for a couple of days, and it just wasn't feeling right. The surgically repaired ankle, so he's basically been non-existent in our practices thus far. So it's like I said, it's hard to be a leader or have much of an impact over riding a stationary bike. So we hope to get him back, and again, it falls. The leadership that we've had the last couple of seasons with all the seniors has been very beneficial, especially winning on the road and just having the mental discipline to be ready to play each night. So hopefully Dimitri can get back and give us some of that.
Thanks, Greg.
You're welcome.